the level surface drops down from the horizontal plane at a rate of 8 inches times the distance in miles squared.
I'm not kidding.
Are we gonna keep on dividing? Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Well, are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Are we gonna keep on fighting? Are we gonna keep on dividing? Well, sound level.
Kosho's being awfully quiet. You're not going to say hello?
No, but
Kosho, is he here?
Yeah, he's here.
Kosho, you said parallel lines. You said parallel lines intersect.
When did I say that?
They said you said that. Did you not say that?
Oops, I think it's on the last video.
Kosho, what did you not say?
Yeah, go on. You know, he's supposed to be upset.
Say that again, Kosho. What didn't you say?
Jeremy's question. What did you say, Jeremy?
Yeah, but you don't care about us, do you? Nothing to it.
Yeah, I'll mute that. You have to mute that hot mic. Who?
She's got a hot mic.
I think Dad was talking in the background. That room. Kosho, one more time. What didn't you say?
You have to have Jeremy repeat whatever he said.
Did you say parallel lines intersect or cross or something to that effect?
Like a geodesic?
And anywhere. It doesn't even matter where.
Geodesics do intersect.
And outer space.
Yeah, but if you're talking about parallel lines in Euclidean geometry, they don't intersect.
No, so there is a geometry where parallel lines do intersect?
Well, in non-Euclidean geometry, you start off two lines, like two geodesics. They could start off parallel, but they would progressively move towards.
Then they're not parallel.
Oh, dude, let him finish.
Oh, sorry about that. I cut in too early. I got excited.
Kosho, come on, bro.
Kosho.
I've showed this to these fools in here.
That's twice now, Kosho. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like that's twice. That's twice I've shown it to you.
Please explain.
You remember the video? You could probably name the video that it's on.
It was Fight the Flat Earth Geometry. I think it was Kosho defends Fight the Flat Earth Geometry by.
It was in a Vsauce video that I showed you.
That was the one. Yeah. Yeah, you've watched it, have you?
Yeah, I've shown it to you.
It's your nightmare.
Should we go through it again? Oh no. We can't, Kosho will hate me.
We will have to go over it again. We'll do a open mic session, right? We're gonna go over and see Brandon later. We've said we're gonna go over there, so that'll be at about 10. That's not gonna give us enough time to do this, is it? Okay, how long do you reckon it'd take us to go through this, Kosho?
It might take an infinite amount of time.
Okay. Okay, you go. Parallel lines. I'll say definition 35, Euclid's elements. States. I'll get it here quickly for you.
You understand?
Parallel straight lines are such as are in the same plane and which, being produced ever so far both ways, do not meet. That's the definition of parallel straight lines, right? Can you give us your definition, please?
Non-Euclidean geometry, that's what your book is going over, or is it strictly going over Euclidean geometry?
That one's Euclidean geometry definition of parallel lines.
Example, was it in non-Euclidean? Because I believe I said that.
Okay, well, can you show us the definition where it says in non-Euclidean geometry that parallel lines intersect? Please.
So they're not going to end up being parallel. They start parallel.
That's right. Exactly. They're parallel lines that start parallel and intersect. Yeah, exactly that, right?
You can think of the equator as one line, and you can think of any longitude line as a perpendicular line to that. Those lines would start out parallel because they're both
Perpendicular. It's perpendicular, dude.
Right.
How
And
they
when
would
they're
start
passing-
out perpendicular because that's how
Yeah.
you set it up.
Perpendicular to the one line. They're both perpendicular to the equator. They're not perpendicular
I mean,
to
if,
each other.
if
It's
you're
not
drawing,
parallel though.
if you're drawing lines on a certain micromillimeter of both of the lines drawn, they're not. I mean, once it becomes more than a point, it's not parallel anymore.
Right. So they
What
start parallel. They don't end up parallel.
They don't
that's
start
impossible.
parallel. As soon as you come off those 2 points for the 2 lines, they're instantly not parallel anymore. They're never parallel. They don't start parallel. They don't end up. They're never parallel.
What you're describing is not parallel lines.
How
Kosho.
far does it have to be classed as parallel in your eyes? 1 centimeter, 1 meter, 10 meters, 100 meters? Or have you not thought about it?
As soon as you come off that point, you got 2 points. You're gonna start your line, right? You got your pencil down.
So it's only parallel at 2 points. That's it. Never again.
2 parallel points. Is that a thing or?
I was saying, what is parallel? How far does it have to be parallel to be parallel?
It has to be a straight line.
So straight
Parallel. Not
So-
never to meet, never
Forever.
to join, not gonna cross. Parallel.
Or do
Straight
you have to
line.
be together?
Okay,
Two
so what's
parallel
also
lines.
starting
It
parallel?
doesn't need a
Two
distance.
parallel
That's the definition.
Two parallel lines are the same distance apart, running across the same plane.
Never to meet being the key words.
I am gonna mute this cunt because he is doing my fucking head in.
Hey, I've just asked a question, that's all.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
it's-
fucking.
As soon as you come off that point, I mean, you can have 2 points, and then once you start to draw a line with both of them, the second you move off that point, it's not parallel anymore. You can never have.
No, it's not parallel at all.
Yeah, it's never parallel once you come off those 2 points.
No, it's not.
Yeah. The fuck, Kosho? Come on, bro.
This video, that timestamp, Jeremy. Just check it out. It's like 2 minutes. See if you can figure it out fast.
You got a video showing parallel lines meeting?
I don't expect you to understand it, Kia, but you can check it out too.
No, I asked you. I can understand if you say you have a video.
It's in the chat, man. It's timestamp. So.
Dude, you're not Vsaucing it again, are you? You're not going to do the same Vsauce thing.
What's
You
up,
hear what
mate?
I'm saying?
Is that what it is?
I think
It's
so.
Vsauce?
Which way is down, yeah.
No, come on, dude.
Can intersect Kosho's saying.
Where's the video? I gotta see it.
It's in the debate discussion.
Fine.
Kosho, how do you not understand what I'm...
Something different.
Kosho, how do you not understand
No, that's
what I'm
the way it
saying, bro?
started.
Oh no, it is the same one, Bev.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no, Kosho, you're not still running with that, are you? It's been debunked, dude.
The guy puts his fingers together. Because he puts his fingers together doesn't mean that parallel lines intersect, Kosho. That's Vsauce moving 2 bits of string and putting his fingers together.
Kosho, how do you not understand what I'm saying about coming off that point? You got 2 points down, you're about to draw 2 lines. The second you come off that point, those lines aren't parallel on the surface of the sphere. You can never, they never at any point are parallel.
Get him, Jeremy.
As anything
is like
becomes
simple.
a straight line parallel to each other, they
This
will
curvy
never
model,
meet.
you can't call it parallel because it's only on 1 point, right, Jeremy? That's what.
It's not a parallel line if it's a point.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you pretend you're about to draw two parallel lines on the surface of a sphere, right? The second you move the pencils off the point, they're no longer parallel. The only time they're parallel is when they're dots, which I don't even know
No,
if
you
you
can't
call
draw
that.
parallel lines on a sphere.
But if
What
you're
are you talking about, Jeremy?
Sorry to interrupt, but if you're drawing 2 lines on the surface of a so-called sphere, they are always going to be parallel. Because you're not going from one point and it's not bending round the sphere, is it?
Y'all have spheritis.
Spheritis. They got something, Ricky.
You can do it on a sphere, it's a parallel line on a sphere, but not in this curvy space thing.
No, you can't draw a parallel line.
You only have
Sphere.
points there.
I just
No,
explained.
parallel lines on the sphere.
Straight lines, never to meet.
Listen,
Period.
listen,
Never ever meet. Parallel lines will never ever meet.
Yeah, and put a period, exclamation point behind
This
that.
is primary school shit.
Kosho, I know we just became friends, but you can't use that.
Really? Oh, be careful.
You can't use that. You can't use that video, dude. It's so debunked. It's not even funny.
By who? By
You
you?
call them parallel lines if they're not
No.
parallel.
It is. He pulls the strings together.
Site for you to check out about what non-Euclidean geometry is, the things that you guys talk about more than anybody else, but still have no clue on.
It's not Euclidean, right?
That's,
we do know that.
Geometry for you.
Non-geometry.
Kosho, even in your sphere, even in your non-Euclidean spherical geometry, you don't have parallel lines on the surface.
So then, what did I just type? What did I just type out, Jeremy?
Get him, Jeremy.
I can't look at my phone on that.
I literally bolded in the part that is important for you to read.
Oh wow, he typed it. So
Parallel lines that converge towards each other or diverge from one another.
Did you say
Parallel lines either
Oh shit! Why did you say?
it says two parallel lines either converge towards each other or diverge from one another.
Kosho, how can you have a straight line on a sphere?
Parallel
I've
lines.
posted all the information you guys need to know about in that video and in this thing. So the questions you're asking have already been answered.
Yeah, but Kosho, you gotta agree that Vsauce took his fingers and pulled them together to one point, right?
Parallel
You're using this video
Tell.
to show us how parallel lines meet.
This is taught in primary school, you fucking melt.
Yeah.
I mean, Kosho,
Grade 1, draw parallel lines.
Kosho, say you got a
You want a ruler?
Get him, Jeremy.
Kosho,
Go ahead.
you got a sphere in front of you, right? You're about to start drawing two lines. How far do you make the lines before they're not parallel anymore?
Euclidean geometry, you can say that they're parallel the whole time. They're not. They don't have the same. They don't have the same rules in non-Euclidean geometry. Like that one rule about them being
have the same
all points and all that kind of stuff. That's not in non-Euclidean geometry.
Lines don't have points. They have a start and an end. And if they're parallel, they stay parallel from start to finish.
Well, he's got different geometry rules.
What do you mean geometry rules?
I don't know.
You're talking.
In his geometry.
Excuse me. Lips moving, still talking. You're talking about parallel lines, right? From start to finish, from point A to point B, they're always going to be parallel.
Yes, I understand this, but Kosho saying he's got some.
Taught in primary school.
See, when I look up the word,
still talking.
Who's still talking?
Over here is primary school. Over where you live, it's like kindergarten. You know,
I was taught that at a very young age. Yes, of course. We all know
you
parallel
taught
lines.
at a very young age, and you're questioning it now.
I'm not
So
questioning it.
went wrong?
I'm not questioning it. Kosho said he's got this new geometry where parallel lines do intersect.
When I look up Kosho has made, or he's helping Fight the Flat Earth make this Fight the Flat Earth geometry, right? Because as far as I can see, parallel lines are defined as lines that do not ever meet. Whereas Kosho's decided to actually redefine the word parallel rather than just using saying two lines intersect. He's decided he wants to actually redefine parallel as lines that do intersect. It sounds fucking retarded.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, Kosho.
Right, if I made this definition, why am I posting shit that is defining it before. I didn't make this website. This is the same
Well,
thing.
I can equally
the other day, and I show you
I
that
can
it
equal
exists.
I can equally put a post that says parallel lines are lines in a place that are always the same distance apart. Parallel lines never intersect. You want me to post that? Do I have a post-off competition?
That's in Euclidean geometry. Non-Euclidean geometry.
Kosho, you sunk to a new low, dude. Non-Euclidean.
Don't talk when I'm talking, man.
Shut the
You
fuck
talk
up.
amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm not going to do this.
No, hold on, Kosho.
No, Jeremy. We'll talk later, Jeremy, when we can have a
later,
normal
Kosho.
conversation. I'm not going to stop eating so I can say something just to be interrupted.
Normal conversation about parallel lines.
What deluded bastard.
Yeah. Don't talk when I'm
does
talking. Give me a break.
Does it say this somewhere in like textbooks and shit?
No, that's why it's
Jeremy,
called
I posted
Fight
it
the
for
Flat
you,
Earth
man.
geometry. They just make shit up.
Jeremy, can you read the chat?
I can't right now.
You read the chat.
Will you DM it to me?
Okay, just read the chat, man. It's
We have
in the chat.
bendy straight lines, parallel lines intersecting, triangles with more than 180 degrees, sighted triangles at that as well with 3 straight sides. It's fantastic,
Do you
this
think parallel
geometry.
lines intersect?
Here, someone taught me how to use the snipping tool recently. I'll do a snippy of the definition of parallel lines and put it in the chat.
In non-Euclidean geometry?
Pardon me?
You can use non-Euclidean geometry, though, right?
There's a
Yeah, but
parallel
if you're not using
lines.
non-Euclidean geometry, then
Parallel
we're not talking the same
lines. Is there a definition for parallel lines in non-Euclidean?
Oh, sorry. I'll post the definition here in chat here pretty quick. I'm just doing a snippy thing.
Kosho, do you think parallel lines intersect?
In spherical geometry. Yeah, I'm just wondering like if it says it's in like a textbook or something.
What parallel lines intersect?
Is there any-
Actually, I would give you the fact, like Fight the Flat Earth said, you get rid of what you call the 5th postulate. I call it the 12th axiom. The one that says that you like to call the parallel postulate. It doesn't mention parallels. But you throw that out in spherical geometry and non-Euclidean geometry. You throw more than that out, right? But it states that there can be parallel lines, basically. You can't have that in spherical geometry. So the spherical geometry form of that particular postulate is there are no parallel lines, right? It doesn't go, well, you can have parallel lines, but we'll make them intersect. We'll just redefine parallel. It doesn't do that. It just says there are no parallel lines.
You have to distort the space, dude. That's what I've just read.
Don. You say draw 2 parallel lines on a piece of paper, then fold the paper.
Yeah. That's
So
the only way.
to change it, right? So that they're no longer parallel lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they're no longer parallel lines.
You messed with it.
Because you folded the piece.
Then they're no longer parallel lines.
It's like a straight
They
one.
don't fit the definition.
You drew parallel lines and then folded it.
Yeah, I guess Kosho won't answer that simple question.
A curved face and trying to imagine infinity. That's where it comes from.
You're folding space on a piece of paper.
Nonsense. Unprovable nonsense.
Yeah, why is something so simple so hard to get?
Because they lie to themselves.
Spheritis, yeah.
It sounds like a really nasty disease. I hope it's not contagious.
Seems to be mostly mental.
Come on, answer the question. He'll post that.
You get it around
He'll
your balls.
post that bullshit. But he won't say
Stupid
it.
is a stupid does. I hope it's not contagious. Like, Jesus Christ.
Gives you itchy balls.
He knows it's so stupid he has to post it. He cannot say it.
No, it's contagious. It seems to be contagious mostly at schools. Mostly.
Space is distorted.
Certain Discord servers.
Maybe infinity and distorted space parallel lines do meet. Maybe.
I can't look right now. Where?
Hard to test.
What's the definition of a parallel line that do meet? Because I don't think it's parallel. Because parallel lines are the definition of two lines that don't ever meet.
Yeah.
Right here.
It's a non-Euclidean line, I
Definition.
think that's what they call it.
Parallel lines. Two parallel lines that meet is bollocks.
I can't look at my phone right now. Where was Kosho?
In Benny's face, it might happen.
Two
I guess he goes stop signs and.
Jeremy.
Were parallel, then meet.
Like
Might
I'm
be
looking at
Benny's face.
definition after definition after definition.
Someone
And-
please answer Jeremy.
Parallel lines.
I was trying to
don't-
answer
don't
Jeremy,
connect.
but
Holy shit.
What did he say?
Jeremy, if you're worried about what Kosho posted, maybe you shouldn't.
We get Kosho to read it out.
He won't
Come
say
on,
it.
Kosho.
Yeah.
You've got a lovely voice. Come on.
I read
hear
it out already for
gonna be-
Kosho.
We told No Name that one day. We wanted No Name. Jose told No Name to read his definition out again because he had a great voice, so he fell for it, and he still left the ending, the bold print ending of the definition out of water vapor. It was hilarious. Good job. Shout out to Jose. Shout out.
Kosho, why are you being so grumpy? We're all in here.
There's no point trying to speak to these. Some of these guys are monkeys. They
I am
literally
not
talk
mad.
about.
I'm offended.
Monkey's an asshat.
For the sake of it.
I am not grumpy.
The only monkey.
Oh, he said
my
monkey. Monkey, you're a fucking monkey.
Yeah.
One.
Will you shut up? All of
Say
you.
parallel lines intersect one time, and we'll see
I'm
who's a
trying
monkey.
to understand why Kosho just gets a little bit prickly.
There's only
When-
one monkey.
Because he's got to burn his foreskin, Emma. Come on.
Because if parallel lines don't intersect, he's got to get rid of his balls.
I know, but even Dawn's been in there having a laugh and a joke, and we've been disagreeing, and it's been great. And Kosho is just, I don't know, Kosho. I really want to give you a big hug and
Emma,
just.
I'm fine, but that doesn't mean I'm going to dance for your for these fools in here. I gave
No,
you
I just
the
mean.
link so they can read what I've posted, and I've
What?
shown them where it says it in there.
Don't take
Why is it when
everything
someone
so
disagrees with you, Kosho, they have to be a fool?
I don't feel like trying to talk over people.
I know you are quite annoying, I must admit, when everybody does try and talk, but you know that happens everywhere. Unfortunately. Luckily, you've got me here.
I've even heard Kosho do it once or twice.
No, Kosho would not do a thing like that. There is no way. I don't believe you. Nope.
I don't know, 15 people in the room. Chances are it's going to happen from time to time.
Hey, what's today? Is today Friday?
Friday
The 13th.
Can
2020.
parallel lines intersect on Friday the 13th?
If
Maybe
it's
we can
ever
give
a
Kosho-
time for him to happen, eh? Now's
Hell
the
We
yeah,
time.
can
the
give
ley
Kosho
lines
this one day. Let's give
converge.
Kosho this one day and just lay off of him. Let him be happy. Have his
Okay.
balls.
You guys can say whatever you'd like to say. I'm not bothered by
Oh,
it.
thank
I'm
you.
I'm not
Thank you, Kosho.
complied with.
Yeah, thanks for giving
Thanks.
us
Thanks,
thanks for
you
giving
guys-
us
you guys
permission
have-
to say
you guys
what
have
we
the
want to
resources
say.
now. So just read the resources you've been given and get it wrong tomorrow if you have to. But
Wow,
Yeah, Friday
non-geometry.
13th.
Kosho, do you not like Friday the 13th? Is that what's bothering
movie,
you?
it's a great movie. No, why do you say that I'm bothered? Because I
Today is
wanna
Friday
read
the
what I've-
13th,
what I posted
Kosho.
or something.
Because I can
Kosho.
feel that you're bothered, and I'm in the UK.
Got that spirosity.
Yeah, but Emma,
I'll
you
just
gotta
finish my
understand
lunch.
what it's like.
Pretty good.
What'd you have for lunch?
Don't worry about it, man.
No, come on.
Spaghetti-o and
Hey, you can-
meatballs.
Oh, Rakia,
I can't.
No,
It's Friday.
seriously.
I'm having a good time. It's Friday the 13th.
What'd you have for
someone's
lunch,
gonna have to go
Kosho?
and sit on the naughty step in a minute.
All right, I'll lay
I'm trying to be nice. I'm asking what he had for lunch.
Bad Rakia, down boy.
Poor Kosho. Honestly, he's not in the best mood. I think
I
someone
was
needs to give
just
him a
getting
big hug.
started. He didn't come to the right place if he's not in a good mood.
Kosho, if you
I'll say it again. I don't know why I have to keep saying it, but I'm not. I just finished I'm not in a bad mood at all.
have you
What
fallen
did you
out
have?
with
Did you eat Ovaltine?
Kosho, where's your citation from for the parallel lines thing?
I DM'd both of them. 3 of them.
Oh,
I don't give
you
a
never.
shit if you got a citation.
Jeremy,
Doesn't
you're
matter,
working
mate.
on Jeremy. He's trying to get you, Jeremy. He didn't DM
Yeah,
them
he's-
to me.
He's got some new parallel line definition This will be interesting.
Will it rock your world if he's got a new definition for parallel lines?
If I had $1 for every time Kosho said Jeremy, I'd have a lot of dollars.
Can I ask, excuse me, like talking about parallel lines, if you were to get point A and get a straight parallel line from point A to point B, that could be say 10 miles, and then you like sort of came 90 degrees from that, and then you set another post up, and you went all the way to the other end, parallel to the other one, would they meet ever?
Two lines, one's 90 degrees from another one. Was that for me or?
For anyone, really. Just if you've got, in reality, you went a peg in the ground and went 10 miles and put a peg in the ground and strung a line from one to the other, and then went like, I don't know, say a mile from that first point, and then did the same, and it was a line parallel for the same amount of distance. Would they ever touch?
Are they parallel?
If you continued both the lines either way, you can go further than 10 miles now. Let's just go 100 miles. Yeah.
Are they parallel?
If you continue them 3 lines, yeah, they would meet. Yeah, and they would be.
And this is why this is why when you try to draw parallel lines on a sphere, they end up not being parallel.
Then they're not parallel.
Start them off.
They're
You start them off as they were parallel. You can start them off as they were parallel, and they wouldn't end up being
Points aren't parallel, Kosho.
Maybe
Points
your
can't be
brain's working
parallel.
better since you had food.
That's what I mean. The only time they're parallel is the
When
second
they
you
start
come
out,
off,
as I said.
they're not.
That's right.
Points can't be parallel.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you take something like one straight line, and it was a geodesic, it was just a straight line on a sphere. You take one geodesic like the equator.
No such thing as a
and you
straight line
take
on a
two.
sphere.
You take two perpendicular.
There's no such thing as a straight line
points
on
on there.
a sphere.
Godskapple, stop talking, man.
Well, I'm telling you
That's what
though,
I'm
there's
saying,
no
like,
such thing as a straight line on a
All
sphere.
right, ready.
Well, you don't have to get mad. I'm just saying.
I'm just not getting mad. I'm not gonna fall for the same trick fucking
It's
5
not
times.
a trick, Kosho. It's a
not a
fact.
trick.
I start talking just to have you guys interrupt after the 7th sentence.
Bullshitting, Kosho.
We're talking about reality as well, you know, the relationship to reality.
So geodesic on a sphere, the equator is
It's a straight line. It's a straight line, and you can't have straight lines on a sphere, Kosho.
They're not straight, dude.
This is my argument, bruv.
A geodesic is a straight line.
Yeah, no. Everyone's saying it's a straight line.
I got a way to clear this up.
Oh, sorry. Still talking.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't see your lips moving. I'm sorry.
I can see your lips moving, but I can't hear you.
I can clear it up real quick though in like just 10 seconds.
This is what I like about Discord. You can have the crack and you can have a laugh.
Yeah, you don't have to meet either. You can just say what you want.
Yeah.
So
it was that twat then.
Okay,
How
I'll
are you
go.
going to summarise this then, Rakia?
If straight lines are not parallel, then they're not parallel lines.
Well, that was fucking deep. I better take a week.
That was deep, yeah.
You lost me.
Should I make a video?
I think you should. Can you get a whiteboard up and going too?
That doesn't seem so hard now, does it?
You need to make a
It
video
seems hard.
and have the balls bounce along like a sing-along song.
What are you talking about? Kosho's balls and singing along songs.
You know what I'm talking about.
Kind of disturbing that, to be honest.
He's always talking about balls. Get used to it.
Balls, balls, balls.
It's always balls.
Yeah, to Amazon.
All I'd
not
say
even
with
a
this
ball, is it?
parallel lines is, right, the very definition of a parallel line is they don't meet. So to say that they
Never.
do then that's nearly as bad as saying straight lines curve. It's sort of on the same sort of line of thinking, right?
Or that, or 2 points, or 2 points are parallel. Like 2 points can't be parallel.
Or that
They're just 2
triangles have
points.
more than 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, try that crap in geometry class. Freaking fail.
They'll slap degree out of you, the
I
extra
mean,
lines.
I learned at a very young age that parallel lines don't meet.
You can teach an old dog new tricks, man. So why don't you listen for a second, Jeremy? Let's see if.
Where did the citation?
So on a sphere.
Hang on. You can abuse Jeremy in your own server every day. Come
Abusing
on.
him. Am I abusing him, or am I trying to teach him something?
Let's hear Kosho's explanation of a parallel lines.
I don't think it's an
Sorry if you found that
explanation.
abusive, Jeremy, but
Who are you quoting, and where is this? Where is this coming from?
This is coming from the standard math book.
Standard what?
So yeah, if you understand that in non-Euclidean geometry, a geodesic is equivalent to a straight
standard
line.
math book.
I have a standard math book from when I was in high school. I should go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my math book said parallel lines don't intersect.
I never got taught that they intersect ever.
I'm gonna have to dig out that math book.
Sat me down and said, parallel lines do
I
this.
never got
do
Do you
this.
have a specific place?
Try listening. Just try listening, please.
Didn't you guys do
Is this
physics?
just you talking,
I mean, there's no
or is
point in dissecting.
This is geometry, though, isn't it? It's not physics. This.
Right.
I
In
know,
non-Euclidean
but
geometry,
all of it, science,
the
at all.
Non-geometry.
a geodesic is known as as equivalent to a straight line. It's got
Equivalent to? How what do you mean equivalent?
Yeah, it's not a straight line, but you can think of it as a straight line.
Equivalent is. Doesn't that mean it's the same? Isn't that what equivalent is? I think that's what equivalent is.
The same as.
It's the same. Yeah, it's like an equals, isn't it? In logic.
Equal to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a series of infinite bullshit.
Yeah. So a straight line is the same as a straight line, right? They're just the same, really. The straight line and the geodesic. You may as well. Well, I mean, let's just give a fancy name to a straight line. Okay, carry on, Kosho.
Now, did Kosho drop that definition somewhere? Kosho?
He's not going to talk to us now.
Did he drop the definition somewhere so we can all have a read?
No, I think he was making it up on the spot.
It's fine. Doesn't offend me.
Yeah, you were making it up there, weren't you? Freestyling.
You shouldn't be offended. There's nothing personal here.
I don't know why I would be.
I mean, Kosho, where are you getting this information from? Who told you? Who told
taking
you
sweat
that?
off my back.
This is fight the flat Earth geometry. This hot off the press.
Who told you that? Who told you that these parallel lines convert? Like, where are you getting this from?
You're following what I've been saying. I've been saying that these lines don't remain. They don't exist as parallel lines. I was trying to describe to you how you could start them off as you would start off parallel lines, and how you'd find that they wouldn't remain parallel.
Parallel lines don't exist as parallel
The example I was
Get 'em,
giving you,
Jeremy.
Jeremy. The example I was giving you, Jeremy, was a geodesic and perpendicular lines on that geodesic. Those perpendicular lines in Euclidean geometry, if they're perpendicular to a straight line, then they're going to be parallel to one another. In non-Euclidean geometry, they start out this way, but they converge.
Hey, let's pretend we got a ball. Just walk with me for a second. We got a ball. We got two dots on it. We're going to start drawing some quote unquote parallel lines, right? How far off the dot do you get the pencil before they're not parallel? Like when are they
converge?
What's up?
You got him, Jeremy, on the ropes. Keep going.
How far do you draw the line before they're not
They
parallel?
will immediately start converging.
Immediately. So they're never actually parallel.
In Euclidean geometry, you can claim them to be parallel by just making them perpendicular to the same straight line. They're both not agreed to the same straight line. They're never parallel to one another.
What's a latitude line, Kosho? What's a?
He's not talking to you today.
What's a latitude line? Can somebody ask Kosho what a latitude line is?
Jeremy,
yeah, go on.
What's up?
Jeremy, ask him what a latitude line is, Jeremy.
It's just an
I
imaginary.
wanted to.
All right, what's a latitude line, Kosho?
Take this one,
It's
Jeremy. I think you can.
an
You're capable of
imaginary.
taking this one.
An imaginary.
Why is he here
line
when he won't
going
even
around.
talk?
I wanted to.
I think
I give you my definition.
I'll give you my definition of a latitude line. It's seeing as you're doing spherical geometry, you're doing geometry on the two-dimensional surface of a sphere, right? So don't really look at it as a ball, right? But then the latitude lines are they're called parallels, aren't they? So they don't ever meet. And I know within the geometry it states that there are no parallels, but the latitude lines are called parallels.
They are, yeah.
Strangely enough, right? And they don't ever meet, do they?
There's only one latitude line that's actually a straight.
So-
geodesic. None of the latitude lines are straight lines.
There's no straight lines on the surface of a sphere. None. Zero. Zilch.
There are geodesics, and
Well,
only one of those.
It is. Yeah. The spherical geometry is the geometry of the two-dimensional surface of a sphere. Now, do you know what a two-dimensional surface is?
That's That sounds imaginary.
It's a plane, isn't it? It's length times breadth. There are only two dimensions. That is called a plane or a flat. So you can have straight lines on that, right? So you can imagine your geodesics on that two-dimensional surface of a sphere, right? And they are actually straight lines.
They aren't.
You just have to imagine afterwards the curvature that you add on. That's it.
Latitude
You'll
lines
be
are
fine.
not straight lines. They're not geodesics. Only one of them is, but all the rest of them are not.
I've got Team Septic saying it is geodesic is a series of infinitely small straight lines. A geodesic is straight lines.
That's great. The latitude lines are not geodesics, nor are they straight lines, except for say for the equator.
Are they called parallels?
They're parallel planes, yeah.
Yeah, but there's no parallels, is there? Isn't that what you had to get rid of in the axiom? You had to get rid of the parallel postulate. Throw it out. It's really weird. You seem, you're here and you're there and you're throwing all sorts of things up in the air and then you're taking them back again. And it's like, oh no, we will have parallels, but no, we won't have parallels. I tell you what, we'll have parallels that intersect even. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, Kosho, pretend you got a ball and you've got 2 points on it and you're about to start drawing your lines. The second you move off that point, they're not parallel anymore.
That's exactly right, Jeremy.
Well, where are you getting this from? Tell me who is your
I just gave, in the example you just said, you can use the equator as your straight line. The equator will be the geodesic that we're talking about.
Fucking
The equator is not a
circle.
straight line.
Bollocks. It's a circle on both maps. Your both models that you have seen. It's a circle, not a straight line. Ever.
You don't have to do that, all right?
Bev, he's not even talking to you. He won't even listen to you.
I think he's muted me.
I mean, we're
Probably.
talking to Jeremy. That's why he's
He's such a
interrupting for whatever.
total idiot.
But,
I don't think the equator is a
Straight lines on balls.
Question you just
Crazy.
asked, Jeremy.
Why is he even here if he won't even respond?
Question
to
I
anyone?
am responding to somebody, dipshit. You won't shut the fuck
Ooh,
up.
hey,
Let me finish
Kosho,
talking to Jeremy.
come on, Kosho. That's not how we deal with the things around here. Practice
Let's stop
the
talking.
way of the beach. Come on, you know the rules.
And that way I can respond to Jeremy.
Has anyone got them rules from the beach? How to practice and be one with the beach.
We need to, make a meme. When I say we, I mean probably.
Yeah.
The beach is strong with this one.
I thought he'd already had.
Not with Kosho, it ain't.
No.
Jeremy, you still there?
He does not walk in the way of the beach.
I still got your question, Jeremy. I still got your question.
They need a private room.
Hang on. Is it because you two sound quite similar that you're just like really prickly, Kosho?
What's up?
I mean that I sound. What was it? Okay, the thing that right now is bothering me is that I'm trying to respond to him and I'm not being capable of doing that.
You're trying to tell him that straight lines curve round a sphere. Brilliant.
That wouldn't speak during this time. That'd be perfect. Otherwise,
Yeah, Emma, could you just mute Bev then, Emma? So,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
so,
Bev, come
so
on,
Kosho
come
can
on,
speak.
Bev.
Speak his
Holy
bullshit
crap.
about curvy straight lines. Let me
Come
talk
on,
about bendy straight lines and parallel
Come on,
lines that
let's hear.
intersect.
Kosho might change all our minds. Come on, Bev, have
I
some.
won't change anybody's mind here.
I
But
just want to know who your source is on this. Where are you getting this from?
Jeremy, I've DM'd you about 5 sources now.
Get him, Jeremy.
I can't look at my phone though.
Then why would you ask that when you ask me the sources?
So you could tell him.
Yeah.
Where do they come from?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm going.
Are we talking Wikipedia or are we talking university?
URL this website is.
McToon's. You got it from McToon's website.
Wikipedia?
No, it's not McToon's, is it?
I bet it is.
What are the
DMs. I'm still waiting for a DM from Kosho. Last time he was here.
Okay, that's one of the URLs.
Can you not just post it?
I have
Kosho,
posted.
you still owe me a
Oh,
DM.
I have posted.
Also, talent.
That's LSU right there. Unless it's like some kid that just wrote it down and it's got a LSU edu link.
Math Stack Exchange.
Oh, from Stack Exchange?
Oh no, that was Dawn. Hang on, bollocks. Sorry. Marlin Christerson's math site.
Do you know non-Euclidean geometry? What's it used for? Does anyone know?
Non-Euclidean
spheres.
Yeah.
Spheres.
As you think?
No, Euclidean geometry, Jeremy, has 3-dimensional geometry within it.
If you want to know anything about a bearing or something like that, right? You just go on for your diameter of it, wouldn't you? There's no measurement for curvature or anything like that. So non-Euclidean geometry is just not reality geometry.
What do you use it for?
Or you use longitude and latitude for one.
Ask Kosho.
Longitude and latitude is a perfect example of spherical coordinate system.
Two-dimensional coordinate system, right?
Uh-oh, that would mean it's on a plane.
Oh, shit.
Stumped.
Right, it is, isn't it?
He got a phone
Kosho.
call.
Oh, right. It's a two-dimensional coordinate system. Anyone will tell them. Longitude, latitude. 1, 2. Spherical geometry is the geometry of a two-dimensional surface of a sphere.
Spherical. He just posted spherical coordinate system, which has an X, Y, and Z.
That's
Yay!
He doesn't even understand what that is.
3 coordinates in a spherical geometry, God scalpel.
Yeah. Z. So
Yeah,
you've
X,
got
Y, and Z.
X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to program a 5-axis CNC machine. I can throw 2 more coordinates in there. If you want.
What do you do first, right, gods? When you're doing that and you're messing about with these coordinate system, what is the first thing you do?
It says R.
Zero out.
Yeah, you fix your 0 point. Then X is left and right, Y is forwards and backwards, and Z is up and down.
Right, that's not spherical coordinates.
That's what the
it's a 3-dimensional coordinate system.
In that thumbnail, it says what the 3 coordinates are.
Okay, so you're having that system, except you're having a wandering 0 axis. You will always be at 0 point, right? So how do you know where you've moved from and to?
Be at the origin. You don't ever have to be at the origin.
You are always at your origin because your Z axis is always moving.
Yeah, The z-axis is not an axis in spherical coordinates. Those three axes are the axes.
Yes.
R, theta, and phi. R is the radial distance from the origin, and theta and phi are the angles. One of the angles is the angle from the polar.
So you're using an angle as a coordinate.
Yeah, two
You're
angles.
using straight lines on a sphere.
Longitude and latitude are angles.
You're using straight lines on a sphere. You're using all straight lines on a sphere, Kosho.
Yes, you are gods. Yes, definitely. It's all straight line coordinates,
Never
isn't it?
struck you that longitude and latitude are defined in.
Because you know when you draw a line from a point to a point.
Answer the question, Bev. Longitude and latitude, they're defined in degrees, aren't they?
I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know.
I know you wouldn't have a clue, but this is why, like I said,
It's a two-dimensional coordinate system, though, isn't it?
You can call it what you want. You can call it unicorns if you want. It doesn't matter what you call it.
It's a two-dimensional coordinate system, which will put you on a plane, and there is no vertical axis to it, is there?
Well, the radial coordinate would be the distance from the
So
origin.
the z-axis would be your vertical, the add-on to the two-dimensional. Two-dimensional would be a flat plane, and then you add the vertical to it. That would be your z. That would be like that three-dimensional coordinate system you've got there, x, y, and z.
The first one would be your altitude, the elevation.
Yeah,
they're all straight lines, Kosho.
Yeah, the surveyors, the GPS, they change it to northings and eastings, don't they?
And that's one way you can transform. You can
And
transform.
they're two perpendicular line coordinates, aren't they? You make it into a grid. Yeah, north-south line, straight line, and east-west, straight line. Northings, eastings. Right, Kosho? Don't you not know? Or are you just making it up now? I'll tell you. Yeah, they do. They swap it to northings and eastings.
Don't go so fast. He's trying to Google.
No, he's probably on the line. He's probably got Jeff there or something listening in. Like, tell him this. Tell him this bullshit. Are we going to go over to Ranties in a bit?
Yeah, I told him we'd be there.
I think it'd be pretty hard, Kosho, to maneuver around the surface of a sphere using only straight lines.
Yeah.
Don't use straight lines, dipshit.
Well, that's
Use
what your
angles.
diagram...
No, it's not. It's not. Angles,
I still have yet to
coordinates are
insult you,
angles.
Kosho.
Two of those coordinates are
I
angles.
still have yet to insult you.
Two of those coordinates are angles.
An angle is the inclination of one straight line to another.
Those aren't straight lines. Those are angles.
Yeah, but an angle is the inclination of two straight lines.
Angles are not lines.
You need two straight lines to make an angle, dude. That's where they intersect.
You just have an angle. You don't have to have lines.
Pardon me? Yeah, how are you gonna have angles without lines?
You have a sphere, and you could be talking about the angle away from, or the angle around the radius.
The division, the division of that circle by radial lines, and the angle is the division in between the two radial lines. That the angle that you're measuring.
Radial line. One of them is a radial line. I mean, only one of them is a radial angle. The other one is a polar angle.
That's what an angle is.
No, they're two totally different angles. One angle goes around the circle of the center. The other one is its angle away from the.
No, an angle, just one of the angles, is the inclination of one radial line to another radial line, because that's what an angle is. It's the division of a circle into parts.
You guys should really just study this stuff before talking about it, because it's like you guys are just learning about it. Yeah, you guys don't have. It's like you don't have a clue of what you're talking about. You said there's XYZ coordinates, which they're not, and then now you're saying what the angles are, and they're two totally different angles, doing two totally different things.
I'm just trying to explain to you what an angle is.
Well, I posted these things for you to look over, so if I were y'all, I'd look over it.
Do you understand what he's talking about, Kosho? Do you understand anything that they're talking about? Do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yes.
Straight lines.
We're talking
So
about the
straight
angles.
lines don't make angles, Kosho?
Talking about lines.
Kosho? It doesn't take two straight lines to make an angle? Kosho.
Has
It
he
doesn't
gone?
take two straight lines to
No.
make an angle? Is that what you're saying, Kosho? Did you have pizza, Kosho?
If you have two curved lines and try to make an angle, wouldn't the angle always be changing the farther out you went as it curved?
You can't make an angle with two curved lines, Jeremy.
Jeremy, the problem here is we're not talking about lines at all. The problem is here we're talking about a sphere. We're talking about angles in reference to either the pole or around the circle at the center. That's all we're talking about. So bringing up lines or straight lines or this and that, it's not relevant here.
That's how you make angles, though, right? Straight lines.
You could call them angles.
Kangles they had last night, didn't we? We were making kangles. Kangles.
Curved angles.
Angles to a curve, yeah. Kangles.
Angles, yeah. Bendy
I
angles.
had a dog once that was a kangle.
Yeah, well, I always used to think that them them little blobby bits that hang at the back of a dog's arse when they've had a shit. That's what I used to call them.
I thought they were Klingons.
Yeah.
Will not come out.
Like if you had a curve, say you had two curved lines or just one curved line and a straight line, you tried to measure the angle in between them. Wouldn't it always keep changing depending on where you measure
There is no angle between a curved line and a straight line.
An angle is measured by a protractor. A protractor quite visually has radial lines. That is the division. That is what an angle is. It's the space between those two radial lines measured as an angle. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, Jeremy. So in this GIF I just posted,
It's doing the sprinkler.
It's one of the coordinates.
You ever see that dance? The
circle
sprinkler?
around
That's what the globe's doing.
all those markings are marking the different angles for that.
Picture
angle.
that, Rumpus.
And the one going up and down.
You're drawing a unicorn. Emma was talking about them earlier. Is that basic?
Okay. So that line that's sticking out of your beautiful ball, it's a straight
Unicorn.
line that
No, it's a
goes to
unicorn.
the center, right? Oh, it's a unicorn.
Right,
Doing
brother,
the sprinkler.
you're writing something now, God Scalpel. That would be one of the coordinates.
It goes straight down to the center of the ball, right? It goes straight down.
Angles.
It goes straight down to the center, and the angle is compared to the straight line that goes down through the center from the top, right? Meaning two straight lines.
Yeah, there's marks on it, isn't there? All the way round and all the way up and down on that.
And it's in reference to the
center?
to the line that goes down through the center. Yeah. Two straight lines.
One of the coordinates. That's right. The R coordinate. That's the radius
It's
line.
just two straight lines making an
Coordinates
angle.
are angles.
I don't know why you'd argue this, Kosho.
It must be really bad
Because,
for
you guys-
them, right? For somebody to come in here and not agree about an angle and how it's made and measured, that must be pretty damaging somewhere. I think he's given us a bit of a clue. We should really look into this because it seems that there's something pretty. I think is it the straight lines? I think they don't like straight lines, you know. I think they've got a really big problem.
I'm
with
gonna
it.
go on over to Ranty's, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good chatting, Kosho. We'll have to go. We're going over to Ranty's.
Yeah, it hasn't been good chatting. It's never good chatting with Kosho.
And I
I
need
hope
to go
we can
to the
work on our
toilet, so-
friendship.
Yeah, come back next time. I'll do hugs and we'll do a sing along and all of that, Kosho.